now on the ETSU VA campus at the Interprofessional Education and Research Center. We affectionately call this building 60. And this historic building has been restored and transformed into a state-of-the-art, high-tech audio and visual interprofessional education center. We have so many unique areas dedicated to interprofessional education and experiential learning. Let's take a look at some of those areas together. Now we're here on the back patio where you can see that we have a great setup for outdoor living, but Johnson City is definitely known for that. So it's great that this building embraced areas to help the interprofessional faculty and students come together. You can see we have a ton of tables and different areas set up for sharing lunch together or maybe even study groups. But let's go inside and see how that theme kind of follows through this entire building. So welcome to our Interprofessional Education and Research Center, our building 60. And you can see right over here when you walk in, you see that same bring everyone together attitude. So whether, again, you want to have a meal together, breakfast, lunch, or a study group, these are great areas that you can come together. We have the fun walls you can write on. Maybe you want to watch the news or check out the availability of study rooms, but you can do it all from this space. This patient encounter room is set up to look exactly like your normal doctor's office. And in this room, you can see that all the normal tools are here, except of course we're missing our patient. And so we actually have a very large standardized patient program. What is a standardized patient? Well, we actually train these patients and we actually train them as embedded professionals. So that maybe they'll be your patient, maybe there'll be a doctor coming in or another member of the team to play a role. But not only do we teach them how to show different findings, so physical exam symptoms come up, but we also teach them how to package what they say and do in certain ways, which really brings out the communication and interpersonal skills training for our students. And on top of that, we have these great cameras, 2 in every room, that allows us to record the audio and video of the entire encounter. So when you get an entire team in here, because we are in a professional college, we have 5 health science colleges we can pull from with a variety of different degrees, bring them in here to do a team interview with our standardized patient. And then they have tons of different areas they can go to for debriefing. So they can get together as a group, watch the recording in the debrief room, and have that opportunity for group learning together. But the great thing is that's not limited to just this one area, because we have 12 of these rooms. So we can have a number of students in here at once, and they each have their own individual provider review area. But once they're done, again, they're going to go down to that debrief room, work together as a group with their faculty and review their performance and reflect on how they can grow and better approach this patient encounter as a team. In this simulation bay, we're going to explore all the different types of trainers we have. First, let's look at some of the really realistic human patient simulators. We have such a variety in our patient population. Here you see some of the neonatals, but we actually even have an adult female birthing simulator. So we could work with our obstetricians, have a delivery, and then hand off to our neonatal intensivist here if we'd like. Now, skills training is another big part of simulation. So you see some of the tabletop task trainers here. Airway management is important across a number of professions. So whether you want to practice your placement of the intubation tube and make sure you're in the lungs and not the stomach, you can actually get inflation of the lungs to help make sure your placement's good. So that's really helpful. And then we always like to say the teeth, and you have that nice teeth clicker there that helps keep that muscle memory right for intubation. Now, intravenous access is another one that crosses tons of professions here. So this is a great trainer as well, because we're able to create a pulse and have that flow of blood through our simulated blood here on these mannequin arms. So that's a nice one as well. But one of my favorites is our very high-tech laparoscopic surgical trainer that we've recently added here. And this one's great because not only are you bringing in the anatomy to review, you're also going to practice on that technique, create the muscle memory, and really strengthen those connections. In this simulation bay, we have a really versatile room. So you'll see our pediatric simulator here, who is extremely realistic, even the natural movements with the modern, all of the state-of-the-art equipment. And so maybe we have a pediatric ER visit, and the simulation area allows the students to scribe and maintain their train of thought here, their orders, what's been going on throughout this encounter. And so when the encounter ends and it's time to debrief, we can come back to this with the faculty and walk through the different actions that they took. These collapsible walls are great because we can make the space as big or as small as we want, as well as the curtains, because you can see these whiteboards collapse down and open up. And here we have an adult male, so maybe this is our trauma bay with an adult male, but our technology is limitless. We even have distance learning we've been working through. And you can see here that I have a guest I'm going to introduce to you.
Hey guys, I'm glad you're enjoying your tour of Building 60.
Thanks, Dr. Florence. So we can bring in visitors from anywhere into our simulation lab. Our technology really is also expanded by these great cameras that stream straight into some of the debrief rooms. Come on, let's go look at some of the debrief rooms right over here. Here's one of our mini debriefing rooms. We have multiple rooms that can be tied to each of our simulation bays. So let's take a look inside, because these can really be multi-purpose. You can have your students and faculty in here observing the streaming video from the simulation bay live, but this can also be recorded. And then you can come back in here as a group and review anything that you may want to. The sound system, the multiple cameras that are movable from in here so you can change your angle, all great. And as a faculty member, I specifically like it because I'm watching, I can annotate. I can do thumbs up, thumbs down, type in how they can grow or what I thought they really did great. So this system has been a great addition to Building 60. Let's take a closer look at the multi-purpose room here. This room has multiple purposes and is really functional. We can move everything around to really meet the needs of multiple disciplines here. You'll see a number of different patient care areas. And so we have those areas for small group work. But you can start here centrally in this teaching area where the faculty can do a didactic presentation, maybe on a patient care topic, communication skills, or even presenting a procedural skill. Then the students break out into their small group areas to practice. The faculty can freely move around and help make sure all the students can reach competency. So you can see now we're in a kitchen, maybe not what you would expect to see in an experiential learning area, but we're actually inside the ADL suite, our Activities of Daily Living suite. So the best way to really understand your patient and what they're facing is to visit them in their home. We have a full kitchen and laundry room, as you can see here. We actually have the entire house set up. The dining area, living area, bedroom, and even bathroom back here are great. And so maybe you come home with a new disability, maybe you have a new walker, and you can't really get that plate of food from the kitchen to in here in the dining room. But your therapist can work with you, teach you some tricks, give you some new tools once they see the space you're at, and really help make those daily activities a lot easier on their patients. And in the living area here in the bedroom, you can see that we have this completely set up, just like a normal bedroom. But the bathroom is really nice as well, because, you know, nurses do visit you at home, and this is a great way to train them on the appropriate, safe way to do home health visits, bathing, and all different types of personal care. So we have a lot of different functions for this area. The historic charm of Building 60 really comes through in these cobblestones that were preserved from 1905. You can see here that this actually was the horse stalls where the fire wagons were stored back in the 1900s, because this was actually where the firehouse was for the VA back in the 1900s. But this leads us right into some of the really great group learning areas that we have in Building 60. You can see some more casual areas, as well as different areas of kind of conference table style learning, where you have the movable whiteboards and lots of different areas to kind of collaborate, get your ideas out there where everyone can see them, and share things together as a group. We also have even closed-in areas for studying, which are nice if you'd like a more private group study area. But everything, again, is very versatile, and it's able to meet the function that's necessary for the space. As you walk through Building 60, you'll see many of the historical elements we did try to preserve. And you can see that in the architectural arches and the older windows that were preserved. But then as you walk into this area and you see this state-of-the-art lecture room, you see that we really did merge the old with the new. We do a lot of our faculty development training here for our interprofessional education faculty. This allows us to bring them together, but then have them near the experiential learning areas, because we like them to actually be embedded in the style of learning that they're going to be teaching you. So they actually get to work through the encounters with the standardized patients before they have to teach learners. And so this building works really well for a lot of different functions, because we worked together to make everything so movable and functional.
Thanks for joining us for a tour, and see you soon.